Comienza Artistas All Over the World con Verónica Alegre. Encontranos en IGTV y en YouTube.
Hello, we are in Artistas all over the world, and today we have an international artist. She is from Philippines. Her name is Helena Alegre, and we are not parents, I guess. She is an escultural and entomological inspired journalist. Welcome to the program. How are you, Helena?
Hola.
Hola.
Hi, I'm good. Yeah. How are you?
Fine. Here we are. Well, we are in the middle of this pandemic, but we are okay. How is the pandemic in Philippines?
It's depressing, actually. It's really bad. But Filipinos are known for their resiliency. So each and every one of us are trying to make a living and trying to cope up and to adapt with the new normal, because there are series of lockdowns almost every 2 weeks, every month. So it depends on the surging cases of the COVID-19 cases here in the Philippines.
Perfect. So you're working of the art of manipulating metals. You know, is an art or not?
Yes.
How do you start? How do you begin with this?
Early 2004, 2005, I met several people who are in charge in the jewelry industry of Department of Trade and Industry in Camarines Norte. So I met the jewelry coordinator and the late provincial director, which is Ernesto Pardo. They asked me to join on a series of jewelry workshop, silversmithing and goldsmithing in Camarines Norte. So from then on, I had fun. I had a one-on-one workshop with my mentor, Louis Cada, and they are always inviting me on different seminars about jewelry making and on the business side of it. So from then on, I keep on studying and learning.
Yes. I read all the information that you sent me, and you always training, always studying. Also, you were studying at the Fine Art of the Philippine Women's University, PWU.
Yes.
How is that women's study in a different place than the men?
Before, Philippine Women's University, it is an exclusive school for girls. But when I think early 70s or 80s, they opened the school for men who are engaging in fine arts field. So when I studied in Philippine Women's University, most of my classmates are men. I think out of 30 students per class, we are only 3 or 5 girls in the classroom. So basically, the fine arts building is dominated by men. It was crazy. And I like it. Yeah.
Nice. How nice.
Because students are very eccentric.
Yes. So in this investigation that you did while you were studying, you also visited in indigenous communities. How was your experience, and what do you take from these communities?
Okay. Right now, during my stunt as an artist in Camarines Norte, I get to meet a lot of people, especially from different town, from where I came from in Daet, Camarines Norte. So I think 24 to 26 kilometers from where I live. I get to meet a lot of different local artisans which are engaging in the goldsmithing or silversmithing discipline. So from then on, I learned a lot. I kept on observing, talking to them, immersing myself within the community so that I'll get to understand what is silversmithing is all about. Not just for aesthetic purposes, but I was able to learn about being passionate, about culture, about preserving the cultural heritage. Because during 1576, we are being colonized by the Spaniards. So during that time, they pass on the art of filigree making.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that filigree technique, it's an art of granulation of silver beads and silver gold. Then you create, you melt it, you manipulate the wire, the beads, then you solder each piece to create a piece of jewelry. So we are being what do you call this? We are being taught by the Spaniards on how to do the jewelry that way.
Mm-hmm.
But the filigree technique or the tambourine, it is being passed on during their expedition from the Egyptian era.
Oh, how nice.
During, I think 2000 years ago, 2000 BC, as far as I remember.
You said, I read that you said that your art, you combine art and science. How is that?
Yeah. The reason for that, I need to innovate. Because here in the Philippines, there are a lot of designers and jewelry makers. I think out of 100 million population here in the Philippines, we are almost 500 or less jewelry maker or manufacturer. But it is on a different...
There is so much jewelry industry, but you sell a lot of jewelries to, I don't know, tourists or whatever. There is a market also for those kind of jewelries.
Yes.
Ah.
It depends on the design. That's why I need to what do you call this? Infuse jewelry art or sculptural jewelry, the design or the aesthetic. I did some aesthetic research and entomological research. So I love science. The place where I live, it's very rural area. So there are lots of insects around me. I am surrounded by trees and nature. So I always came across by lizard, coleoptera, or bees, lepidoptera or butterflies, odonata or dragonflies. So basically, I'm in love with those creatures. So I told myself that why not incorporate this thing? So the difference, although there are a lot of artists or designers from all over the world who does entomological inspired jewelry. But the difference on what I design, I do some scientific research and scientific illustration of each piece or species of the jewelry. And I name the jewelry after their scientific name. Like sometimes I use Lucanidae or I use Odonata, something like that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And you were a feature in Art and Culture magazine in all around the world, in New York, United States, London, Sweden, Hong Kong, Dubai, and also in Vogue, Italy. How was your experience there?
uh, it was actually, I'm very grateful beyond words, because I am very lucky that I was able to work with these highly creative people who was introduced to me through online or something like this. I haven't met them personally. I just got to meet them. They interviewed me through email or messenger. And well, for me, it's a very humbling experience because I was able to be exposed on a global platform. I was able to express myself through jewelry art, and I am very happy and I am grateful because I am a Filipino artist, and I get to represent my hometown in Camarines Norte. So basically, I get to promote uh, my jewelry, and plus I get to help my community. Because right now, Veronica, I'm working with local artisans. It is my advocacy to promote and provide jobs for the local silversmiths in my place.
And nowadays you are featuring with a semi-precious stone, also with a silver filigree.
Yes.
How many hours do you work? A lot?
It depends. Sometimes, like for a regular tambourine necklace, yeah, it's something like this. But this one,
It's
it's
so
just a pendant.
beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah. So both sides, there's a design. So each piece, it's like a
both sides.
Lego.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like a Lego. You have from raw silver, you have to melt it down. Then you have to pull using some table vices and some we have tools and equipments at the workshop. So there are 4 or 5 artisans who works for me. Then they have to make different parts. Then we have to solder each piece. So basically, if you're really working on a tight schedule, for one piece of filigree necklace, it took us 220 hours to 260 hours, or 4.5 weeks to
Wow.
produce one piece of necklace.
That's one.
So, yeah, from the design process, it took me 5 days to do a sketch. But the conceptualization, sometimes it takes me weeks. It depends on the environment I see. It depends on the people I get to meet. Sometimes when I'm inspired, I really work for long hours. What I do, I sketch the whole day. Sometimes I'm staying always inside my studio, or I call it the pit of Tartarus.
So
Yeah.
do you use some program in the computer to be creative with the design, or do you use your hand?
Freehand.
Freehand.
I use freehand, yeah. But I am open and willing to learn about AutoCAD in jewelry designing.
Okay.
Yeah. But Veronica, I'm an old school. Sometimes I find joy whenever I do the sketches using hands and doing some pen and ink and watercolors.
You were at the top 5 finalists in a creative Asian jewelry design competition.
Yes. Can I tell a story about it?
Yes, please.
Yeah. We were invited by Intellectual Property Rights Office of the Philippines. So they sent an email to everyone in the industry. So somebody sent a link to me, and then our jewelry coordinator in Camarines Norte told me that I should apply to try it out. But when I saw the mechanics. It's too complicated. It's too technical because there's a lot of rules and to follow for the design, for the sizes, the JPEG of the photos, and everything. So I told them I will try. So I got surprised when I heard the news that after a week of screening out, I was able to make it on the top. I think were 20, top 20 all over the Philippines. So from there on, when I saw the other candidates, I was really surprised because they are one few of the big names in the jewelry industry in the Philippines. So I get intimidated. I am, because most of them are using gold, colored stones, diamonds. Everything is beautiful. I saw because we were invited by the office of IPOFIL, or intellectual property rights of the office, for the final judgment. So they choose 20, then out of 20 they downsize it. Then I was surprised. I was one of the last candidate who made it on top 5 finalists. So actually I cried because I didn't expect it. Because when I joined that competition, I am the newest among the group. It's like I'm the baby. Because most of the jewelers who joined, they are in 20, 30 years in the business or in the industry.
But
So
how important is this that you are saying that sometimes it's hard to put to follow all the price for the contest, because they have so many rules, as you said. But
yes,
no matter what happened, you already think in positive and say, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, I am very persistent, and and I pray, of course, and I ask help from my friends who are on the who are a photographer, because I have to pass some pictures, or I have to submit some photos that need to be formatted as JPEG or PDF file, and there are some sizes, and I am not good at it. That's why I ask help.
For your art, for your jewelry, do you took some photos with professional photos? How do you manage that?
Some of the photos, when I was just starting, I'm just using a regular phone before. But as I grew and met a lot of people, I get to meet different photographers. So some of them are inviting me to collaborate with them, to work with them. So from then on, through that collaboration, I get to learn a lot also from them on how to take good photos of my jewelry. So in case they are not available, I can do it by myself. But right now, Veronica, I have a son who's been helping me. He's taking up multimedia. So some of the jewelries that I have, he is the one who's taking photo.
How nice! Because I think as a manager of your own business, you have to think in all the points, or not?
Yeah, actually, my kids, I'm training them to be involved in the business, or in my art, in my jewelry art. Like my eldest son, when he was just 14, 15 years old, I kept on tagging him at the workshop, so that at a very young age, he knows what the different tools that I'm using, different stones, mixing of metals. So that's part of his training. Until now, he's still studying
How
and
nice.
doing some trainings
Mhm.
under me and under some masters goldsmith in Camarines Norte.
Helena, which one is your advice for a young journalist, people who wants to dedicate to the art?
Well, you have to have a discipline. You have to stay focused. You have to work really hard because it's not fun. It's hard work. It took me 10, 12 years of hibernation before I go out to the crowd. And it took me a long time before I get the right recognition from different people, from the different art critic and from different magazine and publications. So you really have to work hard.
Because your husband is also a painter.
Yes. He's a visual artist. His name is Helena Alegre.
So all the family are artists.
Yeah.
How is that to live in a artist family?
It's crazy. It's crazy. You know what? I'll tell you something, Veronica. You know, I'm in a good mood right now. I'm very happy. We live on a separate studio for so long because we cannot stay under the same roof. So he has his own studio. That's why whenever we're trying to schedule this interview, I kept on telling that I have to travel 36 kilometers away from the other studio. Because on his studio, the internet connection is very stable. Unlike where I live, I'm afraid we can't do this.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I forgot to send kisses to Eileen Kavelin that she contact us. Thank you. Thank you so much to Eileen.
Yeah, thank you, Eileen.
Yeah, I want also to talk about culture. How is culture nowadays in Philippines? Besides the I don't know, the pandemic that of course it paralyzed everything, but how is the culture for you as an artist? Do you have chances? How is that?
Well, it's very hard, but people here in the Philippines are trying their best, especially our government, the Department of Tourism and the Department of Trade and Industry and other government agencies. They're really working hard to help people or artists or small medium enterprises like us or on the creative side to promote our art or our culture. You know, it's really hard right now, but it's inevitable. We cannot control what's happening right now. So we really have to move forward. I am not telling that I'm okay because everybody's not okay right now. Each and all of us are dealing with the new normal thing, especially with the lockdown restrictions. There are a lot of travel restrictions. Like for me, as much as I wanted to work and create more jewelries, sometimes it is very depressing on my part because we have problem when it comes to logistics, when it comes to supply chain. Everything is complicated right now, and different towns, different travel checkpoints, there are different rules, and you have to have permits and requirements. So what I'm doing right now for myself, I'm trying to use and maximize what I have right now. So I create on things, on materials that I have. I try to maximize it because there are a lot of different organizations. They wanted to have an online selling, live selling, but sometimes I don't want to be pessimistic, Veronica. But
Okay.
what I'm trying to tell, based on the reality,
Yes.
the artists or the creatives, what they do, they are used to staying at home or their studio. What they do is just to create. But sometimes you have to earn for you to survive because you have to pay the bills,
Of course. Yes.
you have to sustain your family, you have to buy art materials. So we're very thankful that there's still a lot of collectors or buyers who support the local industry. And most of the people here in the Philippines, they're trying to promote that we should support the local businesses for us to be able to go back or to keep our economy going. So for now, we need to pray for this pandemic to end because everybody's suffering, and there are a lot of you know mishappening around us.
Yes. And how is feminism in Philippines? I know that there are some rules that women are not treated as men, in many rules and also with the law or not.
Yeah, it's like in the art. Most of the artists are dominated by men. In the science field, it is also dominated by men. But right now, on the 20th century, we are very lucky that there are organizations and people or women who stands for their right. Like for example, I love the philosophy of Plato because once he told the people, he teaches that every man should teach every women to become educated because when you separate the maternal duties of a woman, you can bring the best out of her because she can also do what the other man can do. Like, for example, before, silversmithing and goldsmith are purely for men because on the um, on the history before, the Filipino women, you just stay at home, just take care of the kids, you just cook, you take care of men. But right now, women are also very competitive. Yeah, because when you are being involved and you can show your talents and your capability on what you can offer to the world and what you can offer to your community, you can empower other women. You can empower the community. So that's part of my advocacy also.
But for example, nowadays there is a law. I don't know if this is correct, but I heard that there is a law in Philippines that if a woman cheats her husband, she's going to be in jail. But if the man cheats his woman, how is that? Really? Is nowadays okay that?
Actually, it's not okay for me, but it's in the law. So
In the law.
we can do anything about it. That's a sad truth.
Wow.
And it still exists. It's hard to talk about politics and about law and about feminism, but I'm after for the rights of every woman.
Yes.
Yeah. That's why I always voice out I always do some public speaking about giving inspirational talk or women empowering talk to different schools, different organizations here in the Philippines or in abroad about art, about business, about self-care, about self-love. So,
Helena, what do you like most from Filipina?
Filipina are very forgiving. They are very generous. They are very loving and caring, and they are very loyal. Yeah,
nice.
I love being a Filipina. I am proud being a Filipino. I'm always am. Yeah, because Filipinos are very creative.
Thank you so much for the interview. The last question is that I want that you give us your social media, and also I want to know if your collection, your jewelry collection, is online so people can buy that or not.
Right now I have 2 social media platform that I'm using. I am currently active on Facebook page, which is Helena Alegre, and Instagram, Helena Alegre Sculptural Jewelry.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for this chat, and I wish you the best in Filipina, and I hope everything is okay there. And I love your rings here. Can you show to the camera? Oh my God!
This is a lacertilia or a Philippine lizard.
Beautiful.
It is set on black agate. And this one is a sample of filigree.
Incredible. I love it.
Yeah. It is a faceted agate. Yeah. Can you see it? So everything is handmade. So most of the pieces that I do, there are two kinds. One is entomological inspired, which is named after different species or scientific names of different insects. But I love bugs or coleopteras. I love beetles.
Oh, they're beautiful. Yes.
Yeah. So, check out my my page.
Yes.
So
yes.
everybody can see it. You don't need to buy, but you can share, like, or follow me. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
To all Filipinas people and to all the people who see our program.